Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, 5:34. I'm Emily Vukovic.
I'm Tom Reynolds, and a cold start to the day once again. Boy,
Yeah, sure
oh boy, does this weather ever give up?
Nope.
Boy, it just
Never.
non-stop because I know it's going to be interesting this afternoon, I think.
Why?
Well, because you'll have details on it.
Really?
I can't say. It's secret.
I don't know if it's that interesting or not.
No, it's secret.
Well, interesting or not interesting, it's cold. Let's just put it that way. Winds are going to be sustained at about 40 to 60 kilometers an hour. So, yeah, it's going to be.
The timing's important, too.
The timing is important. It's not going to be happening until around the dinner rush. So, dinner time and kind of after that.
Yeah. Something, I just very quickly want to say something.
But a lot of the other Great Lakes are certainly coming close. We'll talk more about the long range, the snow, and get you into the weekend. But first, Tom, what's going on the roads? Well, like we were talking about, I mean, it's not a ton of snow. It's going to be happening through the late evening, overnight. That's when we're going to see this cold front come in. And it is going to be dropping 2 to 4 centimeters of snow. The winds will pick it up. Blowing, drifting could certainly be an issue. And through the long range, not a lot of active weather. Could see some flurries with this low skirting to our south for Thursday. High pressure in on Friday. The big story this week is certainly going to be the cold. But look at Saturday. Doesn't that look fantastic? Daytime high of -3 and lots of sunshine. Hi there, good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's 5:44. It is Tuesday. It is the 24th of February.
Right.
I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and it's cold.
It's freezing.
Very cold. It was -18 at Pearson a little while ago, and so it's going to be pretty chilly with any wind chill out there.
Look at this. We've got an extreme cold warning, and it's going to be falling mostly through your late evening commute and in through the overnight. That wind is going to pick up. Those southwesterly winds are going to be very strong, so blowing and drifting snow, certainly an issue. So driving, be careful.
I've talked about brakes quite a bit during the winter, tires, brakes, things like that. I had my brake light come on yesterday after releasing my emergency brake before I left.
Okay.
Which I indicated I thought maybe the cable or something was stuck.
Okay.
But no, the brake fluid was down. Ultimately, I found that out. But I found out since that brake fluid in long periods of cold weather tends to drop. Sometimes the seals, a little bit of fluid goes by the seals.
Like it just evaporates?
No, it goes past the seals because the seals that are inside the cylinders, that are your ABS brakes and all that.
Yeah,
anyway,
of course.
You can get a little fluid going past them in very cold weather. But also, sometimes you get water buildup in these fluids.
Right, of course.
Extreme temperatures,
yeah.
These little water crystals freeze, and they cause things to block up a little bit. So your brakes don't work as well, hydraulic pressure changes. Anyway, it's something to keep in mind. Top up your brake fluid. If you do get a brake warning light, you can go and have it topped up, but that does happen in extreme cold weather.
Well, there you go.
So
you learn something new every day.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, you were speaking Spanish.
I know.
That's true.
We'll
talk more about the long range, but first, here's Tom. Well, it's cold today. We do have an extreme cold warning in place throughout southern Ontario, stretches all the way from Ottawa down towards Windsor. Snowfall forecast, we're not seeing tons of snow, about 2 to 4 centimeters, but the wind is certainly going to be an issue. It's going to pick it up. It's coming in from the southwest. It's going to be strong. We're going to see sustained anywhere between 30 to 50 kilometer an hour winds. So once the snow comes in, that fresh snow on the ground will start blowing and drifting, causing poor visibility in some areas. Once that cold front passes through, temperatures will start to plummet again because that southwesterly wind, I mean, it's not going to warm us up, but we're going to see a daytime high of -8 today, feeling more like the -10, so warmer than yesterday. By Wednesday, you can see we clear out. The winds, like I was saying, certainly a big story. We're going to be seeing gusts anywhere from 60 potentially to 70, but for the most part they're just going to be sustained 30 to 50 kilometers an hour. We are going to be seeing an area of low pressure to our south come Thursday, giving us a few isolated flurries.
This traffic.
Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's 4 minutes after 6 o'clock. It's Tuesday. It is February the 24th.
It is.
And if you're looking at your local forecast and you're thinking, is that right? No, it's not. We're having a technical computer glitch, so make sure you stay tuned because I'm going to have all the details for you. It's just not going to be in your local forecast. I'll have it for you here, so you got to stay tuned.
This is the old way. This is like having a calendar these days. This is the old way. So -8 this afternoon is what it's going to feel like. But with wind, it's going to be a little bit higher than that with about -15.
Well, yes, exactly.
We won't be doing this all
See?
morning. They are,
Just like that.
They are working on it.
See, it's that easy.
It
just
is.
like that.
It's simple.
Just
there
like
you
that.
go.
All right, well, we do have an extreme cold warning in place. Now, that is certainly correct. Looks as though it may not hit us until kind of after the 6 o'clock rush, but still, that kind of 6 to 8 is still quite busy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So people are certainly going to have to be a little mindful. We've been seeing a lot of ice on the Great Lakes. We're at about 85% covered for the whole area. We'll talk more about that coming up. I'll also talk about the long range, the snow, get you right into the weekend. But first, Tom, what's going on the roads? Well, the snow's not really going to kick it up until later on tonight. Well, later on this evening, I should say, along the shores of Huron and Georgian Bay by this afternoon. So you'll start to see it a little bit sooner through Barrie. Warm sector comes in. It's not really going to be warmer. We're going to see colder air come in behind the cold front. Winds certainly going to be a bit of an issue. You can see on the legend that they are going to be sustained anywhere between kind of 20 to 40 kilometers an hour with higher gusts. So blowing and drifting snow certainly could be a problem when it comes to visibility on the roadways. We do have an area of low pressure that's going to skirt to the south of us on Thursday, and that could give us a few isolated flurries, but for the most part, we are setting up for an absolutely fantastic weekend. Take a look at those temperatures. It's almost warm in comparison. I also do want to mention that our local forecast has a little bit of a computer glitch right now. Technology, I know, right? Well, stay with us because I'm going to have all the details, but there could just be a couple of numbers that are incorrect on your local forecast. So make sure you stay with us because I'm going to explain all of it. We've got an extreme cold warning in place throughout southern Ontario. Wind chills making it feel more like the minus 30s this morning. We do have some snowfall on the way today. Our daytime high, minus 8, feeling more like minus 15 when you factor in the wind. This snow will start to arrive later on this evening and in through the overnight. Not a ton of snow. We're only looking at about 2 to 4 centimeters. And once the snow moves out, we are going to be returning to the deep freeze. So yeah, we do kind of warm up slightly this afternoon. The big story, of course, with the snow is certainly going to be the wind. We've got very strong southwesterlies coming in, so blowing and drifting snow could certainly be an issue with sustained winds anywhere between 30 and 50 kilometers an hour. By Thursday, we do have another system to our south that could bring the GTA a few isolated flurries. Thanks, Chrissy. It's Tuesday. It is another cold start to the day. It is February the 24th. I'm Emily Vukovic. We've been seeing some very cold temperatures. Yesterday was beautiful. It was sunny. It was just frigid. All right. We have an extreme cold warning throughout parts of southern Ontario, so be prepared for very, very cold temperatures this morning. Wind chills feeling more like the minus 30s. Snowfall. We're looking at about 2 to 4 centimeters of snow, so certainly not incredible amounts, but it is going to be blowing around. We're going to be seeing winds sustained at about 20 to 40 kilometers an hour, so it's going to be cold, it's going to be windy, and we've got some snow for the end of the evening commute. All right, I'm going to turn things over to Tom Reynolds. He's an update on your commute. Well, unfortunately, if you're checking out your local forecast details, we do have a little bit of a computer glitch going on here, so it's being fixed as we speak. But for all your forecast details, don't wait for your locals. Tune into us because we know exactly what's going on. We've got an extreme cold warning in place throughout southern Ontario. It is absolutely frigid, feeling more like the minus 30s when you factor in the wind. We have a little bit of snow on the way for later on today. It's going to be more so this evening and into tonight. Certainly not epic amounts. We're looking at about 2 to 4 centimeters for Toronto, but areas just east of Oshawa could pick up closer to 8. We just have that little bit of lake effect because we've got southwesterly winds that are coming through. Now, once this system moves out of southern Ontario, we've got temperatures dropping behind it. Today, we're going to see a daytime high of minus 8, feeling more like minus 15 when you factor in the wind. Tomorrow is going to be clear. We'll see some sunshine, but it's going to be cold. Strong southwesterly winds could kick up that lake effect. That's why some areas are seeing more snow. Sustained winds 20 to 40 kilometers an hour. Hi there. Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, 6:44. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and it is cold outside. It is going to warm up a little bit today. We've got a little problem with a little glitch with our local forecast. Some of the numbers, the computer's just not working with us this morning.
Tom was talking so much about the weather that he actually messed it up.
So there, we're going this way, the old way.
This is the way that Tom knows how to do it.
That's right. It's the old way. Anyway, it still works. But anyway, minus 8 for this afternoon.
I'm feeling closer to the minus 30s in many areas.
How cold is it? You said it's so cold it feels like minus 30. But what's the temperature? Do you know? I'm just asking.
It's into the minus 20s.
Okay.
Kevin has those details.
Oh, of course he does.
He's joining us in Niagara Falls. Kevin, you get a glimpse of something really spectacular today. I was going to say, Kevin, no fair if you're inside the hotel the whole time. You got to check it out. Get up nice and close. All right, we'll talk about your long-range forecast. We'll talk about some snow on the way today, and we'll also talk about your weekend. We'll get right to all of that, but first, here's Tom with traffic. Well, we are going to warm up a little bit by this afternoon. We've got a very strong southwesterly wind, and that is going to help blow around all of this fresh snow. We're only seeing about 2 to 4 centimeters. Behind this system, temperatures are going to cool down yet again. I know, we warm up to -8 today, but then we cool down. We're clear for Wednesday. Thursday, we could see a few isolated flurries, but it looks as though we're going to be seeing lots of sunshine just in time for the weekend. Hi there, I'm Vukovic taking a look at your long-range forecast for this Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, and it is cold, and unfortunately, that pattern is going to continue. You know that really annoying kind of camp song that you used to sing when you were a kid, and it was a song that never ended? This is the map that never ended. Honestly, we have been talking about this map all month. It has looked exactly the same. It's been mild in the west and frigid in the east. I mean, kids are eating ice cream in Vancouver and through Alberta. It's not fair. It's just not fair. Pearson International Airport. Let's talk about some statistics here. January 24th was the last day that we were at the freezing mark. The last day. It hasn't been 0 since then. It's been colder than that. Back in 1978, that's the only sub-freezing February, and we are actually on par to get to that this year. It is going to be incredibly cold for the remainder of the month. Our average, -12.1. Last year, which was also a really cold February, our mean temperature was -8.3. So we're about 4 degrees colder than last year. On Wednesday, we do have blustery falling temperatures. We will see a system moving in through tonight. It will warm up slightly, and then the cold air will return throughout the day tomorrow. By Thursday, Arctic air filtering in. So again, another cold day. And Friday, temperatures are going to be cool. There's a big difference between cool and frigid. For the weekend, we actually do start to warm up. We may see some sunshine. The weekend will probably be a really good weekend for you to get out, participate in some winter activities while we have the snow. And then into early March, hey, look at that. It's another map that never ends. Except the West is going to get a little taste of what we've been suffering with. They're going to start to cool down. A lot of Arctic air filtering in. That's exactly what this weather pattern is setting up to be. So be prepared for another cold couple of weeks. But spring, it's just around the corner, right? That's what I keep telling myself anyways. I'm going to turn things over to Tom Reynolds. He's an update on your morning commute. Hi there. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us. It is Tuesday. It's the 24th of February. 4 minutes after 7 o'clock. I'm Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds. We've been having some computer glitches this morning. Our local forecast, numbers have been inserted there that are slightly off. So
well, it's just our old model run. It's our new model run kind of caused a bit of a glitch. So we're kind of looking at the old numbers. So we're really not that far off, but it could be a degree or two.
Thought we'd let you know that.
We do have an extreme cold warning in place stretching throughout southern Ontario. Wind chills feeling more like the -30s this morning. Temperatures dropping. The winds have started to pick up, gusting to about 40 kilometers an hour.
It's going to be tricky. And this blowing snow is starting right now. It's not snowing, but the actual blowing around at Pearson and all the north-south arteries. These winds are out of the south-southwest, and it's going to be a little bit treacherous in some areas.
Kevin joins us live from Niagara Falls this morning. And Kevin, what a beautiful place to be. If you're dressed for it, it's going to be awesome today for tourists because we will see possibly a little bit of sunshine before the snow arrives. Kevin, I think you should grab yourself an ice cream. I think there would be a lot of irony with that. I think it would be tasty and it would be a nice little treat. And it wouldn't be that cold because the air is colder than the ice cream probably. Long range coming up. First, here's Tom. Well, we've got a little bit of snow on the way, and the blowing and drifting could certainly be an issue by your late commute. By tonight, we've got about 2 to 4 centimeters to fall throughout Toronto. Areas just east of Oshawa could pick up closer to 8 just because of those southwesterly winds that are going to be coming off the lake. So you could see a little bit of lake enhancement. And then we'll see some sunshine tomorrow, but temperatures are going to be dropping throughout the day. It doesn't help that it's absolutely frigid with that blowing snow either. We've got an extreme cold warning stretching from Ottawa all the way down towards Windsor. Wind chills making it feel like the -30s this morning. A little bit of snow on the way, certainly not a lot. We're looking at about 2 to 4 centimeters, but blowing and drifting snow with those strong southwesterly winds can certainly make visibility an issue later on tonight. That's the majority of this snowfall, but as Tom was mentioning, light flurries at Pearson right now. It's going to be kind of on again, off again throughout the day today. And I do want to mention that our local forecast data has not been updating correctly. So if you're checking out your local forecast on the 10s and you're thinking, well, those numbers look a little different, it's just because it's old model data. So we're having a bit of a computer glitch. So stay with us because I've got all the forecast details. I can tell you. I can tell you that's gold. We've got an extreme cold warning in place. Wind chills making it feel more like the minus 30s this morning with that light snow falling downtown. We've got about 2 to 4 centimeters of snow on the way, mostly by later on this afternoon, evening, and tonight. The winds are certainly going to make it feel worse. They're going to be gusting from the southwest at about 40 to 50 kilometers. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, 7:44. I'm Emily Vukovic.
And I'm Tom Reynolds, and we've been having a bit of a computer glitch this morning. Some of the temperatures you may see in your long range may be a little bit off.
You're local.
Yeah, the local forecast.
Yes.
What did I say?
Long range.
Oh, okay. The local forecast may be a little off. My wife was just chastising me for it.
Really?
Well, because it wasn't showing that we were getting snow just around the dinner hour initially. So, and I said, yes, we are. And she said, oh, it doesn't show that. And I said, that's because of a computer glitch.
It's all Tom's fault, really. All the way down to Windsor. This morning, the winds are making the temperature feel closer to the minus 30s. But you don't need to say that because
minus 8 this afternoon. I'm just trying to help the old way.
Kevin Yard is joining us in Niagara. He's got a better handle on what our current temperature is and how it's feeling. And you're in a beautiful spot, Kevin, with gorgeous views. Interesting fact. Thanks so much, Kevin. We'll talk about the long range. We'll get you into your weekend, but first, here's Tom with traffic. Well, as Tom was mentioning, a little bit of light snow now, but that is just ahead of this system. We're going to see the bulk of the moisture coming in later on this evening and in through tonight. About 2 to 4 centimeters through much of the GTA. Areas just east of Oshawa could pick up closer to 8. Reason being, very strong southwesterly winds are going to pick up a little bit of fetch over the Great Lakes, and that's where we could see a little bit more accumulation. Once the system moves out, temperatures drop again behind the cold front, so this week is going to be frigid. Our next best chance of seeing a little bit of a warm-up is coming this weekend with some sunshine. Hi there, good morning. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, 4 minutes after 8 o'clock. I'm Emily Vukovic.
I'm Tom Reynolds, and I just want to announce 24 days till spring.
Yay! That almost deserves like a little dance or something.
Really, yeah, something like that. Not maybe not
just
that.
like that. Tom pulled something. Good.
Spring is on the way. Hallelujah, because everybody's sick to death with this cold.
Oh, honestly, I have a Weather Network jacket that has the Weather Network logo on it.
Yeah, you get harassed.
I pretty much get attacked in grocery stores. People start throwing produce at me. It's not good.
Yeah, we got quite a wind going on right now, so it's going to be a little bit slick in spots, and just around the lake, I'm seeing a little bit of snow wisping in off the lake, so it could make lakeshore treacherous.
Kevin Yard is joining us in beautiful Niagara Falls. Now, Kevin, are there any activities? Now, I know this is probably a silly question, but I'm going to ask it anyways because I've never been to Niagara Falls in the winter. Can you get kind of, you can do Maid of the Mist in the summertime. Is there anything like that in the winter that you know of? Thanks, Kevin. Long range coming up. First, here's Tom. And the snow on the way, which is what we have tonight. Light snow throughout the day today, but this 2 to 4 centimeters is going to be coming in this evening through the overnight. Blowing and drifting snow with strong southwesterly winds could certainly be an issue once the system moves out. Temperatures dropping, a lot of Arctic air filtering in for the remainder of the week. Quick mention, there is a computer glitch with our computer data for our local forecast. So if you're seeing the numbers and they look a little off or you're not seeing snow in the forecast for this evening, that's why. It's just old model data. It has to be updated and we're working on it. Extreme cold warning still in spots throughout southern Ontario. Toronto's out, but Kitchener is still in. Snow on the way. We're looking at about 2 to 4 centimeters, so certainly not a lot of snow, but blowing and drifting with strong southwesterly winds could cause poor visibility and slippery road conditions for your. All right, I do want to mention that our local forecast is having a few glitches right now. It's not updating the model data correctly, so computer problems. That's what we're blaming it on, technology. But we've got all the details, so stay with us because we're going to tell you exactly what the forecast is like. We've got a cold day today, an extreme cold warning still in place through Kitchener, but it has been dropped through Toronto. Doesn't mean it's warm by any stretch. We do have a little bit of snow on the way. We are going to be seeing about 2 to 4 centimeters throughout the evening and through the overnight tonight, and that could be blowing and drifting and causing poor visibility on the roads. It's going to be very windy with those strong southwesterly winds sustained at about 20 to 40 kilometers an hour. Hi there. Good morning. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. It's Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, 44 minutes after 8 o'clock. I'm Emily Vukovic.
I'm Tom Reynolds, and it continues to be cold, and winds are really gusty. I know just down at City Center, they're gusting about 34 knots, so about 60 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, not pleasant.
So it's really blowing down there, so you'll have to bundle up for sure.
Kevin Yard is joining us in beautiful Niagara Falls. And no, the falls don't normally freeze over. I think maybe once they ever did. And that was,
ice jam.
Years, billions of years ago.
Well, not that long.
Well, no, of course not. But Kevin Yard is watching the spectacular scene. And Kevin, how does it feel to be that close to the water this morning? Much colder, I'm assuming. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. And you know what's probably even more beautiful is when they light it up at night. That must look so cool behind the ice. All right, we'll talk more about your long-range forecast. We'll get you right into the weekend. More cold temperatures and more snow? Maybe. First, here's Tom. A little bit of snow on the way for today. Our daytime high, -8, feeling more like -15, so balmy compared to yesterday. Somebody actually tweeted me and said, that sounds like a Chinook. Not quite. But we are going to see cold temperatures behind this system. We could see about 8 centimeters just east of Oshawa, just because of a bit of a lake enhancement. We've got very strong southwesterly winds coming in with this system, so that is why we're going to be seeing that kind of blowing and drifting snow, as Tom was mentioning, coming in off of the lake. Temperatures cool down behind this system, and they're going to stay cold for the remainder of the week. Thanks for joining us. I'm Emily Vukovic, and joining me, meteorologist Dr. Doug Gillum. The pattern is cold. Yes. We have seen the same map over and over again, and I don't know, I think you're just changing the date at the top, and you're keeping the same map.
Pretty much. There's been no need to change the pattern. You know, they talk about if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes. Streak continues. We're now at our 4th longest streak. Go ahead and take a look at the graphic now. 4th in terms of 31 consecutive days without topping freezing. And this streak will continue. We'll certainly get at least to the 3rd place spots. Hope
do we really want to be a winner here?
No,
do we really want to be a winner?
Because we're 20 days away. So we do not want to break that streak. But as we go into the first week of March, plenty of winter weather. We're not likely to be seeing record-breaking cold next week. We'll approach seasonal, but a more active storm track. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, lots of sunshine, light winds, frigid temperatures that will be down in the -20s at night. So that's the opportunity for Lake Ontario to freeze if you happen to be rooting for that.
But during the day, are we looking at conditions where people can get out and kind of enjoy winter activities, skiing and ice skating?
Somewhat. You know, -10 with light wind at this point will probably almost feel balmy.
Not too bad.
Right.
Okay.
And then our system does approach us later on Sunday. Snow develops during the afternoon, continuing to the overnight, looking at 5 to 10 centimeters, but winds should be light, and the snow should be over by Monday. Now, milder.
I love that word.
It's still below freezing, but it's milder.
Sure.
And then our next system approaches. A Gulf system could be more significant system for later Tuesday into Wednesday. Track still uncertain, but a rather active pattern as we go into next week. So the slightly milder temperatures come with a price.
Right, spring is just around the corner. Really, it is.
I'm glad of that, I got to tell you.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, and it is cold. It is very cold. In fact, we've actually had extreme cold warnings in many areas around the GTA. They're slowly starting to get dropped, which is good news. Our temperatures are warming up, but still frigid out there. And let's join Kevin Yard. He is braving the elements in Niagara Falls this morning, seeing a spectacular view. Have you spoken to anybody? Is there anybody out there kind of checking out the view of the falls at this very cold morning? Very cool. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, that guy from Norway, he knows exactly what's up. It is cold there, too. All right. Well, today we do have some snow on the way. It's light. We're seeing about 2 to 4 centimeters. Not so much today, but more so tonight. We've got some light snow coming in around the downtown core right now, just coming off the lake. And it's because we have strong southwesterly winds that are going to bring in the potential for 4 to 8 centimeters just east of Oshawa with that fetch, because Lake Ontario, it's still not frozen. It's only at about, I think last time I checked, it was about 57%. The system's going to come in later on this afternoon through the Barrie, Aurelia area, and then we're going to see the bulk of the moisture kind of late evening and through the overnight through much of the GTA. Behind that system, temperatures are going to cool down yet again. I know you're thinking, well, they're already cold. Well, we're going to warm up slightly today and then cool down with more Arctic air Wednesday, Thursday, and into Friday. The winds picking up that snow today and tonight, blowing it around, sustained winds 20 to 40 kilometers an hour with higher gusts. Poor visibility could be an issue on the roads. By Thursday, we've got an area of low pressure just to the south of us, and this one could give us a few isolated flurries, but for the most part, we are going to see some sunshine as we get closer to the weekend with high pressure in place, which is good news, so if you can dress for it this weekend. Looks as though temperatures are going to be warming up slightly just in time for Saturday and Sunday, so it looks as though it is going to be a good weekend to get outside and participate in some outdoor activities. Thanks, Chrissy. It is Tuesday. It is the 24th of February. I'm Emily Vukovic. It's cold. It's really cold. Seeing some snow falling in some areas around Pearson. The blowing and drifting has already begun. Cold temperatures, you do not want situations like this. The minus 20s when you factored in the wind. We've got a little bit of snow on the way for tonight. Certainly not epic amounts. We're looking at about 2 to 4 centimeters, which is going to be blowing and drifting with very strong southwesterly winds. Once the system moves out, well, we're going to warm up slightly today. I should mention that our daytime high is minus 8. Once that system moves out, our temperatures are going to drop behind it, so we're going to get a lot more of that cold Arctic air. The winds are going to be sustained at about 20 to 40 kilometers an hour tonight, so blowing, drifting snow, that's what I was talking about, and then they'll start to ease throughout the day tomorrow. We do have a chance on Thursday to see a few isolated flurries with a system to our south. Thanks, Kim. For more videos of Around the World in 60 Seconds, just head to our website, theweathernetwork.com. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, and it is frigid this morning. Kim, all the way down to Windsor. Temperatures are going to stay quite cold throughout the day today, and we do have a little bit of snow on the way. Now, yesterday was a very cold day, record-breakingly cold. Now, we do have some snow on the way for today. We're already seeing a little bit of light snow through the downtown core, but the bulk of this moisture is going to be coming in through the late evening and through the overnight. We've got about 2 to 4 centimeters on the way. It is not going to be a huge snowfall, but what's going to happen is once the system moves through, we've got very strong southwesterly winds, so we're going to see blowing and drifting snow be a bit of an issue throughout much of the GTA. The winds, they're going to be sustained at about 20 to 40 kilometers an hour with higher gusts. The winds will start to ease throughout the day. Tomorrow we'll start to see a little bit more in the way of sunshine. Thursday is going to be cold. We do have a system to our south that could drop a few isolated flurries on us, but for the most part we're going to be seeing a relatively clear week, but temperatures are going to be cold. And as we get into the long range, closer to the weekend, sunny, and we do see a slight warm up as we get into Saturday. Fun and cold. Ugh, hugging up to ice. I don't know if I could do it. Thanks, Chrissy. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, and it is a cold start to the day. The good news, the extreme cold warnings have been dropped in many areas, but that doesn't really make a difference for anybody standing out in the elements, like Kevin Yard. He joins us from beautiful Niagara Falls this morning. And Kevin, you must be getting some spectacular views of all the ice formation. All right, thanks so much, Kevin. Well, we do have a little bit of snow on the way, so if you are heading to the Niagara region later on this afternoon or into tonight, just be mindful that we've got about 2 centimeters, possibly even up to 4 through much of the GTA, and then areas just east of Oshawa could pick up closer to 8 centimeters. Just because of the open Lake Ontario, we could see some fetch and some lake enhancement, so that's where we're seeing that higher accumulation. Now, this system is going to be coming in through the late evening, overnight. Certainly could be an issue for driving, causing poor visibility with blowing and drifting snow because our winds are going to be strong. They're coming in from the southwest, and they're going to be sustained at about 20 to 40 kilometers an hour with higher gusts, so that's why we could see that blowing and drifting snow. It's that light, grainy, fluffy snow. Arctic air behind this system, so it is going to stay cold for the remainder of the week, but we'll see some sunshine just in time for the weekend.
Nice to have you along on this Tuesday.
I'm Emily Vukovic. Thanks for joining us here this morning on the Weather Network. It is Tuesday. It is the 24th of February, and it's freezing yet again. I know I'm starting to sound a little bit like a broken record, but when you factor in that wind, it's going to be another cold day. We do have a little bit of snow on the way, and I'll get to that active weather coming up in just a moment. But first, let's take a look throughout North America, and I can't even comment on this really because I'm so incredibly jealous. They're playing basketball in shorts and a t-shirt. Look at those moms just walking their strollers along like it's no big deal because it's sunny and warm. Oh, it just makes me sad. And then I have to talk about this. I show you this and then I have to show you this. It's just not fair. 2 to 4 centimeters of snow on the way for much of the GTA tonight. East of Oshawa, because of that southwesterly wind, could see a little bit of fetch off of Lake Ontario, so lake enhancement can be a bit of an issue. You can see about 8 centimeters. The winds are going to be a really big story with this system. Once it moves out, Arctic air filters back in. So yeah, we warm up slightly this afternoon. We're going to see a daytime high of -8, if you can call that warming up. And then we drop throughout the day. Tomorrow, Thursday is going to be cold. Friday is going to be cold. And then the weekend is looking better. The winds, big issue today into tonight. They're going to be sustained at about 20 to 40 kilometers an hour. So blowing, drifting snow causing poor visibility could certainly be an issue for your commute tonight, your evening, late evening and overnight driving. And then we see some sunshine for Wednesday, Thursday, but temperatures remain cold.